Alright. Finding a really good seed post-Hildir's quest is really annoying. And I want to get to exactly why that is. I'm going to assume that you know what makes a good seed before Hildir's quest. I'll bring people up to speed after I provide the new info. Hildir's quest, of course, how to find her. You're going to click on Traders. This used to be Trader. It's going to take a minute to load in Hildir. It'll load in Haldor first. You want Hildir located either on the main spawn island or over some really easy sailing, and preferably somewhat close to the coast, or if you can just find her right as an easy run through some black forest or something, that's cool too. But what if she's past plains? What if she's past plains? That's really annoying. Kind of. If there's any swamps on the starting island, which is always good, then you can go get your root harness from A-bombs. And then you don't have to worry about running through plains. You can just run right through, kind of ignoring your mosquitoes. You can poke them with whatever you have, just take them out. You're going to have all that pierce resistance you want. You can just run past everything else and avoid them. If it's fog and you're worried about that, you can just turn around and go in another day. Now, Hildir, of course, she's going to mark your map locations, and the one that's going to be really annoying to find is the Smoldering Tomb, because as much as Hildir is located pretty far out there, the Smoldering Tomb and all the other Hildir's quest locations are also located very far out there. And so you see our Smoldering Tomb here is way down here, all the way past. You got a little bit of easy sailing here. You can just go through here with the carve. Even if there's a serpent, you're going to reach the other side. Don't gotta worry about it. And you gotta go all the way down here again, through some swamps. It's gonna be fine with your even pre-Elder gear. Get your root set, no problem, and then you can get to your Smoldering Tomb. Get rid of the root set, or if you want, you can even set up a little barley farm. I've done that in the past pre-Elder. You just go to the small falling stone structure that looks like kind of like a mini stone altar, and there's a chest on top of it. Usually there's 2 or 3 fullings guarding it. You take out the fullings guarding it with like arrows or what have you, or the at gear. And you go up and you hope that there's barley in there. There's pretty often times barley and some needles and stuff in there. But you can then set up a barley farm early, which is fantastic. Get yourself some cloudberries while you're in the plains, and boom, you have barley fire resistance wine, which then you can use with full root set or just in general to go into the Smoldering Tomb and take that out. So really, all the Smoldering Tomb needs to be in order to have a very nice seed is on one of the starting or very close adjacent good islands, and for it to be reasonably close through some swamps in the Black Forest right here. Preferably not through plains, but again, you can get through plains if you have the root set, if there's swamps around. Not too much of an issue. Now, we also have the sealed tower right here. That's going to be a great location, super smooth and easy. But once you have iron and you have the longship, sailing out to wherever you need to go, if your sealed tower is out here, or if your cave, your howling cave is over here, that's fine. Now this howling cave, it is still a frost cave, so you want to look at this entire mountain, say, hey, frost caves generate at 100 meters or above. That's going to have obsidian on it as well, because that's the same distance that obsidian takes to generate. 120 meters above is silver. Look at the size of the mountain. It's probably going to have silver on it. What are the other frost caves like on this mountain? Is it worth going to this mountain? Is the closest Howling Cave mountain to me on the spawn island any good other than just having the Howling Cave on it? So we'll check frost caves, but we're also going to check Tetra Lakes. And look at that. Not only do we have 6, count them, 6 frost caves in addition to the Howling Cave, but we also have a Tetra Lake there. And that's how you know that that is a fantastic bang for your buck adventure out with the longship. It's just going to be really smooth, really good. Love that. Now, that is pretty much all of the regular changes, but I want to explain now why it's really good to have what I have here on a seed. So I'm going to bring people up to speed. If you don't know what a good seed looks like and why all these details matter, I'm going to explain this to you now. So, you want to have Haldor pretty close. We have Haldor just over here, not bad, but he's also over here. Also not bad, not particularly amazing to have him here, but it is nice to have him here. Now I'm going to explain why. I already said that easy sailing is good, but what you can do is you can set up your early bronze grind, get a little bit of the essentials, make a carve, make a quality 2 at gear to defend the carve against trolls that are alongside the coast or the river, and then you can start your sailing and really go look for Haldor. After you found Haldor, now you're going to go back and you're going to continue the bronze grind with the Megagjord. So that's going to be convenient. You find Haldor, come back, and really crush the rest of that bronze grind. That's going to be the best way to do it. Going forward, swamps. Let's check the tombs, crypts, infested mines. We want a whole bunch of crypts. So we have one here. That'll get you started if you're also looking for A-bombs and turnip seeds. There's also one there. That's not bad. We have a couple over here. But of course, once you get your iron for a longship... Oh, we've got a bunch over here. Hey, we've got a ton over here if you're going to really need that. You're probably not, unless you're playing co-op or building big. But even so, we have iron down here. We've got a lot of iron down here on your adjacent island. It's going to be super easy to grab. Of course, we also have very good mountains. Let's load up the frost caves again. Check out all of these mountains. Yes, you know that you have decent sized mountains. Let's say bigger than this, and definitely not this size. Then it's probably going to have obsidian, frost caves, and silver. But you can check by the size of them that you know already this is going to be a good seed for silver and frost caves. I mean, look at that. Look at the frost caves. You just going to pull a bunch of silver out of here. Check the sailing routes. How good is the coast and aquatic nature of the seed? Very good. Look at all the coastline in here. Look at this river in here. Giant river here. Being able to sail all around is going to be super smooth, super easy. Getting those metal hulls, whatnot. It's going to be super amazing. Now, let's look at the Leviathans now that we're talking coastline. We want some easy coastal Leviathans. We have one here. We have one here. We have one here. That's going to be super set up, super easy to get your Abyssal Harpoon. So that you can get your Serpent Stew and deal with serpents, and also Serpent Scale Shield for melee guys in the Mistlands. Pretty good stacking up with your Root Harness. Yes, they do stack. It's different layers of defense. Very strong. No Bone Mass and Root Harness do not stack, but Serpent Scale Shield and Bone Mass / Root Harness, they do stack. Pretty good for melee guys in the Mistlands. Pretty good. Now, moving forward, we have all of these plains here. It's going to be a haul to get Yaglith. It always is. However, we check bosses. There he is. Yag. Very nice. That's pretty much all we're looking for in terms of plains. Queen, she's just up here. Super convenient. Let's check on all the other bosses. Elder, right on the starting island. That's the best spot for him. Better not sail over, but we still have one over here if we want to. Of course, Eikthyr is always going to have a good location. Bone Mess, Modair, right there. That's all of our bosses. Super smooth. Really convenient. Now, what's extra convenient about this Modair spot is look at the size of it. Look at that. So, pretty tall, but not too tall. And you'll be able to pretty easily map out a little area for you to terraform and make sure that she's as least janky as possible. Because she can land on some tall peaks or crests or on top of some boulders, and it's going to be a real pain in the ass for you to get up to her and start meleeing her. Because that's where a lot of DPS comes from, unless you have extremely high bow levels. Anyway, that's going to be a super smooth Modair location. We have really good locations for every other boss. Now, going up into the Mistlands, let's check out good old Mistlands Skulls. This is going to be a really good way of getting your Eider without really having to deal with barriers. If you have any starred mages, it's a nightmare. So, knowing that we have plenty of skulls here is good. This, again, sailing into the Mistlands is going to be sometimes a royal pain. However, we don't have to sail in the Mistlands. We can just sail from the Mistlands here into deep north, or even the tiny bit of plains here, and we are just cool. We don't have to worry about y'alls spewing fire at our fire weak longship. No. We can dock in the plains and then get over to the Queen area. Now, what about the infested mines here, huh? How about the black cores and all of the goodies? What's the ratio like in here? Well, we've got 2 here, total of 6 there. However, let's clear this up a little bit. Remember, this island extends up here, and we have this archipelago that goes up here, and oh, we've got more skulls here. Let's check the mines again, and we have 4 more for a total of 10 mines that are going to be relatively easy to get to in access. Of course, if you're still out of luck sailing into the Black Forest here or here to have access to these 4, it's going to be really smooth. It's going to be smoother than landing in the plains up here. So that's always an option for you. Having that good density of infested mines, skulls, knowing your frost cave density, your sunken crypt density, having all of these be good biomes so that you can have all of your iron, silver, all of your grinds be convenient, that's what's going to make a good seed. Now, what about the base building? What about the early game? So, let's check maypoles. Oh, look at that. That is a thing of beauty. Maypole right on the water and this lovely river here that access an amazing sailing route. There might be a small canal project if you want to do longship shenanigans, but believe me, there's all this waterway over here and up in here. That's going to be really good with the longship, and of course down here as well. So that's going to be already extremely convenient. This is just a god tier maypole, but we have 2 more. We have an aesthetic one right off the coast of this little pond, and then we also have one over here on this other island that, well, it's not too bad, but it's not too amazing either. Maybe this is going to be exceptional in a community server type of situation. I don't know. It might be a good outpost to navigate down in here. Who knows? I'm not too much of a fan of this maypole. These 2 maypoles, the aesthetic, and then the god tier. This one's just fantastic. As long as you have god tier maypole, man, that is a good starting spot. Look how close it is to spawn too. That is just phenomenal. All right. Now, do we have any shipwrecks really close in the Black Forest? We sure do. We have one right here. We have one over here. We have one right there. Right just out of the meadows. That is incredible. You take 2 steps in and you have your early fine wood. That means you can go get your early fine wood bow, and maybe also you can get yourself some early fine wood comfort items like a chair or a table to get you rested up in the early game earlier than it would normally be. That is just fantastic to have. Look at how close these are. I love that. Let's take off biomes only. Now, building wise, in the future, just for builders, right? Maybe if you want a really decadent plains farm, my favorite thing is a Draugr village right next to a foaling camp. It can happen, but it's rare. Do we have it on this seed? Check your camps, check your Draugr villages. You bet we do. Right here, right next to each other. Beautiful. It's going to make the most extravagant plains farm. It's going to make for highly entertaining faction battles. Oh, it's going to be fantastic. And I love that this is here. Of course, if you're confused whether which is which, just hover over and you can see that this one is a Grey Dwarf camp. Maybe if you're not sure if it's on the border of a biome, like this one. Okay, goblin camp, not a mountain thing. Alright, this one is a goblin camp, not a Black Forest or anything. Of course this wouldn't be, but just for the future, it's good to know. For anything just kind of sort of straddling biome like this is a goblin camp, not a mountain thing. Very nice. Alright. I do believe that is everything for the seed. Trying to think if there's anything else I would really get to know. No, that's everything. That is everything. Alright. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys some other time. Bye!